Hi, this is Melissa Manchester, and you lucky people, are listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Robertson, the reminder that we'll play part 2 of our conversation with Mariette Hartley later on in this hour. We hope you stay tuned for that. In the meantime, on the line with us right now is Rhonda Shear. Rhonda Shear, the legendary host of USA Up All Night, and a woman who has never been afraid to reinvent herself, which Rhonda has done several times in the course of her career, most notably, of course, as the entrepreneur behind Rhonda Shear Intimate Apparel and the Awe Bra. Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night as a series of monthly specials in partnership with the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. The fun starts Saturday, October 25th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, just in time for Halloween, with additional specials coming up November 22nd for Thanksgiving and Saturday, December 20th for Christmas. Then the series will expand to twice a month beginning in January. You can watch the new Up All Night with Rhonda Shear, the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube beginning Saturday, October 25th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. For more information and for more on Rhonda, RhondaShearUpAllNight.com. And if you go to RhondaShearUpAllNight.com, be sure to pick up a copy of Rhonda's book, Up All Night, From Hollywood Bombshell to Lingerie Models, Life Lessons from an Accidental Feminist, the story of Rhonda's life and career in the entertainment and fashion industry that also shares many lessons she learned along the way that you can apply whether you're female or male and whatever career path you happen to take. Up All Night, From Hollywood Bombshell to Lingerie Model by Rhonda Shear, available Amazon.com, where books are sold online, as well as RhondaShearUpAllNight.com. For more on Rhonda Shear Intimates, go to RhondaShear.com. Before we went to break, Rhonda was talking to us about how grateful she is for the opportunity to bring back Up All Night because it allows her to do something once again that is very much at her heart and soul, writing and performing comedy. As we pick up the conversation, when you write a sketch, whether you're doing it for whether you're writing a sketch for the new Up All Night on Kings of Horror, or when you wrote acts with Kenny Ellis or whenever, do you start with the punchline first? Do you start with an idea and then work backwards? How do you put a sketch together typically?
Concept, and I really visualize. Like, I wanted to do, I have my wonderful writer that I'm working with, so he's writing a dialogue. For some reason, I hate doing that. I could do it, but I'm just lazy about it. But we come up with concepts and talk through every part of the script. So the beginning, the middle, the end. Of course, we have to always throw to the film. We have to talk about the film. We have to also throw to our own commercials because we're monetizing it via sponsorships and our own products. Mm-hmm. And Patreon is a very cool thing that's new to me, but it's different levels. So if you go to YouTube, Kings of Horror, you can hit subscribe, and that's for free. You can watch the show for free all day long, which is really cool. And there's 1.5 million subscribers right now on this channel. But if you're a true Up All Night fan, they have these different levels of Patreon. Like for I think it's $4.49 a month. Then you can get special content that no one else gets. You get your name at the end of the show. You get all these great perks. You might get a T-shirt a couple of times a year, or merchandise. And then there's different levels. I don't know the different amounts it is, but that's what monetizes these channels and these networks, so that you can continue producing. So we're not starting off making anything, but we hope to build it into so that we can bring in more guests and we can fly more people in. It's kind of a fun time, to literally be starting. We're not starting from scratch, but again, we have a film distributor that's got the films. He's got great films, and then here's the other thing, Ed, that's really cool. So if I say, I want to show Attack of the Party Nerds or Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which was the name of a movie I did back in the day. And if they don't have that in their library, they'll go after it to see if they can license it. So that might be an idea that I want to get a film because of a certain actor in it. And more than likely, they would be able to license that film. So that gives me just so much freedom and so much fun. I mean, that's even better than USA Network because we could only work with the films that they had within their library. So a lot of times things were shown over and over and over. We'll have a lot of newness that no one's ever seen before.
You can watch the new Up All Night with Rhonda Shear at kingsofhorror.com, the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube beginning Saturday, October 25th with their Halloween, it's the Boo Bash, right?
It's the Boo Bash.
It's the Boo Bash.
Nice tongue in cheek.
That's right. With the Halloween Boo Bash, Saturday, October 25th at the Kings of Horror YouTube channel. There'll be new episodes once a month in October, November, and December, and then it will go twice a month beginning January 2026. You can watch the new Up All Night with Rhonda Shear at kingsofhorror.com, the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. For more on Rhonda Shear Up All Night.com or rhondashear.com for more on Rhonda Shear Intimates. When you first started off in comedy, there were not a lot of female comedians, and as I mentioned before, there seemed to be two biases going on. You know, stand-up comedy is a man's world. That's bias number one, and even if you were a female comedian, you had to downplay your looks. You can't be pretty and funny at the same time. It seems to me a lot of those perceptions have changed. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. They have. It's really, really interesting because we've gone through this whole politically correct time where people have to be very careful politically, and also, I mean, I never did politics in my act, but, you know, just in general, just about whatever they're talking about. But it's definitely a time for pretty girls where they didn't allow this. You couldn't. People didn't know what to do with you. So when I started was in the early 80s, or, you know, around 1983 is when I first started. And they had Paula Poundstone and Rita Rudner were out there, and they were doing their thing. And Rita's a pretty gal, but no one was doing. I mean, I was wearing short skirts, and I was really trying to be as close to myself as I could be. And I would have these big agencies come out, these comedy agents, and they would say, yeah, you've got potential and your material's good. I mean, I know you're going to grow, and this is when I first started, but I don't know what to do with you. I don't know where to put you. Like, it's truly a man's world, and there's only a few comics, and you kind of have to look funny to be funny. And I just thought that. I mean, everybody would tell me I couldn't do it, and I kept working at it until I did become a headliner, and I did, you know, main comedy rooms in Las Vegas and all over the country as a headliner, and, you know, opened for a lot of people. So I did finally get to that point. I even came up with a layout for Playboy called Women of Comedy, which, you know, I just wanted to break these barriers that you couldn't look pretty or sexy or to be funny. So lo and behold, it's taken years. I mean, I've been in the intimate apparel business 23 years now, so it's been a good, you know, over 2 decades. And you're starting to see some really beautiful women, along with, you know, all types. But you know, finally, I look and I don't even know some of these gals' names, but they're in short skirts. Never would that have flown back in the day. I just think that they're more open to everything now, in a way, but then in a way it's more closed off in what you can talk about material-wise. So it's kind of weird out there. I mean, I'm kind of glad that I'm not doing stand-up. I do think, and a lot of that came from the reason why it's changed. I think a lot of these new stand-up comics that are on, you know, out there on the circuit came from YouTube. So they have all these followers, like they might have like hundreds of thousands of followers. And so the clubs, it used to be the club would want you because you were on a show. Like I was on Up All Night, so they wanted me in because you're on TV, so you get this PR. Now they look to see, well, how many followers does she have, or he has? How many followers? So it's a different world. What is making you popular and what's not. So a lot of these people, I was talking to my publicist about this, they get up on stage and they've never done an act in front of a live audience. They've only done it on YouTube. Some don't, it doesn't, you know, work that well when they hit a live audience.
Yeah, I mean, there are things you learn from being on a stage where it's you and nobody else. And you don't have a team working the boards. You don't have a team, you know, worrying about metrics the way you do if you do it on a YouTube channel or whatnot. It's just you. And you learn very quickly to sink or swim. And not only has that served you well, if I remember correctly, a lot of the things you learned in navigating stand-up, you brought with you when you transitioned to Rhonda Shear Intimates and being able to sell anything in real time.
Live, because, you know, HSN is all live television, so never to be thrown if something goes wrong on the set. So, yeah, stand-up comedy and improv gave me the confidence to be able, and also putting a little, you know, levity in when you're selling underwear. You're talking about women's most sensitive personal areas. Obviously, you have to talk the talk of what you're selling. So I think adding a little levity that a lot of people have trouble talking about that also helped. But definitely stand-up is open and raw. You're 100%. You're on that stage alone. And I remember reading something that Woody Allen said that a joke can work the first time. You get a killer laugh, and then you go back the next night, and you do the same joke, and it's flat. And
That's
then
right.
The same joke, and it's flat. And it takes like 20, 30 times before working out a joke. And then you might be able to tweak that joke, or you might have to just throw it away. And you can only get that in a live audience. So we're putting out a vinyl album because the kids all want vinyl, right?
That's right.
It's really cool. I'm excited about it. We'll have fun pictures and all that. But the producer, a producer friend of mine who's doing this for me, he went through a lot of my old stand-up and from clubs and everything. And it's really funny. He goes, oh, my gosh, you were doing this one joke like this back then, and then you changed it through the years to this. Same joke, but very different. And he goes, I kind of like the way you did it when you first started. And that is crazy. I haven't listened to material like mine that old, but it is funny how your act definitely, might have some of the same stuff, but it changes and ebbs and flows. And even now, I mean, when I do get up occasionally and do things, I talk about the bra business and fitting a woman for a bra. So you take on, and that's what you should do, is grow as a person, and you take that new material in. So if I ever did do stand-up, and I'm sure I'll be doing a lot of speeches, so I'll be putting in more stand-up, of course, because I love it. But just going out on the road, it's hard. I mean, I have friends that are still out there on the road, and that's all they do for a living. God bless them, and they love it. I love comedy, though, and to be able to bring it back, this is the best of both worlds, because I'm getting to do improv. It's scripted. I've got these wonderful people, actors, and I don't know. I just think it's the perfect way to feed my soul at this place in my life. It's just fun.
You can enjoy Rhonda Shear on the new Up All Night at the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube, kingsofhorror.com, beginning Saturday, October 25th. There'll be new specials once a month in October, November, and December, and then it will expand to twice a month beginning in January. You can watch the new Up All Night at kingsofhorror.com. For more on Rhonda Shear, upallnight.com.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
One more item. If you're starting a company, particularly one that is in an emerging market, you know that averting any sort of legal dispute is crucial to your business plan. Our friends at Tectonic Law offer an array of services that can help you avoid and preempt future litigation while also developing and protecting your intellectual property and intangible assets. Tectonic Law serves the needs of a host of emerging industries throughout California and beyond, including industrial designers, beverage makers, artists, farmers, retail stores, health practitioners, wellness experts, cosmetics manufacturers, nonprofit organizations, innovators in sustainable practices, and libraries. Go to tectoniclaw.com to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay Area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
Ed Robertson, thanking you for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss our next episode.
Hi there, everybody. This is Patrick Duffy, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Shear, and I'm an actress, a dancer, and a mime. And I'm from New Orleans, the gayest city in the world.
Yeah? You've never been on Hollywood Boulevard. Rhonda, I think that leopard you're wearing is still alive.
How can you tell?
It's smiling. Thank you very much.
You mentioned your skills in improvisation. I understand you studied improv with Harvey Lembeck.
I did. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Eric Von Zipper. Although I wasn't around when the Bilko show aired, but they showed Bilko in the 70s when I was growing up, and he worked with Phil Silvers.
Yes, me too. Oh my gosh, he always played. He was amazing. He was an amazing man. His son became a
director. Yeah.
and Michael Lembeck, and
Yes.
then his daughter, Elaine, I think she might still have the school or the classes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about her. Yeah.
So when I got to LA and I came out there as a former beauty queen, I knew I wanted comedy. I always used it as a defense mechanism against guys. And during the YouTube era, I don't think we got to talk about that the last time I was on, but I navigated through that whole YouTube. Me Too. Not YouTube. Excuse me, I'm talking YouTube. That whole Me Too era before
Yes.
there was a Me Too era.
Yes.
I had to navigate, getting away from guys and people making passes, and not necessarily producers, but actors or whatever. And it was, women were not, respected as they are now, I think. Things have changed a lot for the most part. So comedy was my defense mechanism in keeping guys from making passes at me. So I kind of always used that. But when I hit LA as a beauty queen, and I kind of I knew I needed to loosen up. I was actually hard to believe, but I was more shy. And I wanted to be on a sitcom. That was my dream. I grew up loving Lucy and Bewitched and, all those shows, Happy Days even, and I just wanted to audition for a sitcom. So I enrolled in Harvey Lembeck's class, and lo and behold, Harvey was my teacher. And what a master class in comedy. And everybody went through that class. Robin Williams, major names all studied with Harvey, and he was tough. I don't think he ever knew my name. I was just always Honey, but it didn't matter. It freed me. It opened me up to do things I would never do. I really don't sing that well, but I was singing in that class and doing characters and voices, and I still sing, more for comedy, but I would never have done that prior to being in his class. And just when you feel like you're in that character, you feel like you can do anything. So God bless him. He was quite the master, and I'm sure the class, I'm sure Elaine is still great if she's still teaching or the school is going on. And it's the one thing, I was with a young actor last night, actually, up here in North Carolina. She's a wonderful actress. She's in New York, and her father's my doctor, and she hasn't auditioned for anything because she's terrified of rejection, and she's amazing. And I told her, you must go to improv.
Yeah.
Even if you never do comedy, go to improv. You will get the confidence level for auditions. You will get the confidence level for making speeches in your life. For everything in your life, it will open you up. And it's what I tell young people all the time, even if you never act, take a few improv classes. It will change just the way you feel about yourself.
Exactly, and among other things, it will help you fill air if you're doing live television, as you do in the course of your work with HSN. Rhonda Shear is on the line with us. Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night at the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube beginning Saturday, October 25th. kingsofhorror.com for more on Rhonda. Rhonda Shear, upallnight.com. Rhonda will be back next week for part 2 of our conversation. She'll share a few more memories of her early career in comedy, including her partnership with Kenny Ellis, how that started with Harvey Lembeck's improv class, and how Rhonda and Kenny would do whatever it takes to leave their mark in Hollywood at a very competitive time in a very competitive field. Plus, Rhonda will share a few memories of her many collaborations with Chuck Barris and a whole lot more. Part 2 of our conversation with Rhonda Shear next week on TV Confidential. For more on the new Up All Night with Rhonda Shear, RhondaShearUpAllNight.com. We'll play part 2 of our conversation with Mariette Hartley when we come back here in TV Confidential.
If you're a diabetic, we have great news. You can end the painful finger sticks with a new CGM. Plus, they may be covered by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. If you use insulin or have had hypoglycemic events, you may qualify. Call US Med now to learn more.
800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. 800-432-8150. That's 800-432-8150.